Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've posted. Things have been rather challenging so far this year, but May is Ehlers Danlos Awareness Month, so I definitely did not want to miss an opportunity to join you in advocacy for those with EDS in our community for better treatment, better awareness and understanding, education, and so forth. So today I thought we would chat a little bit about advocacy. The first thing I would say that is rather important for you as a patient, or if you are a caregiver or a person who is taking care of medically or as a carer for a person with EDS, or even if you just love somebody with EDS, I think the first thing that would be important is to educate yourself. But I want to speak specifically to patients, people like me. I have Ehlers Danlos syndrome, and I would say that education has been key for me, as I have brought things to my doctors and my medical team and said, hey, have you considered this? And I usually take in research or take in information for them, and sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. But at least it's an effort that I've made, and I can back my requests or my point with research. Knowledge truly is power, not in making what you want a reality, but moving yourself toward the thing that you need or that you want. So when you are armed with information and research articles, whatever that is, the cutting edge new stuff to bring better quality of life for yourself, that can get you a little bit closer. It allows you to participate in much needed conversations with all of those in your circle that are caring for you and for yourself, your ability to care for yourself and meet your own needs, and to just communicate about treatment options, medications, diagnoses, and so on. It helps you to be an active participant rather than a passive responder. Another thing I think is valuable for an advocate, for you to advocate for yourself, is to create a list of talking points before any appointment, even if it's telehealth that we're doing more of these days, or especially if it's telehealth, because then you don't have that time. People tend to be a little more pressured and let's get this over with and move on. So if you have talking points, you're able to communicate effectively everything you hoped to accomplish in that appointment. It's really easy to forget certain questions that you may have when you're at the doctor's office and they're sitting there and you feel a bit of pressure, or maybe things are emotional. I personally prefer a physical list. You guys know I have my steno pad and I make those physical lists, and some people prefer to type it in their phone on your little notepad, whatever works for you and whatever helps you remember. I have tried doing it in my phone, and when I get in there, I actually totally forget that I have a list because it's not physically in my hand, even though my phone is generally physically in my hand. The next thing I would say is important for advocacy would be to be honest, to be as honest as you possibly can be. And I know this is a risky thing because honesty sometimes leads to medical gaslightings. Honesty sometimes leads to disbelief. Honesty sometimes leads to doctors having misconceptions about you, or other people not believing you, which makes it even more challenging to be further honest in the future. But in the end, being honest will create a better paper trail for you. Have your doctors write things down in your chart. We've talked about it before. We are really good at swallowing pain, and we pretend that we're okay because it's what it takes to get through the day. Life doesn't stop. The world doesn't hit the pause button when you need a day off. Your illness, such as Ehlers Danlos syndrome, doesn't go, oh, I've been hitting you really hard lately. How about I just take a breather and you go live your life? It doesn't work that way. Don't do this if you can help it. If you can start practicing not pretending, not hiding things. And I know this is super risky. I'm telling you guys something that has probably cost you relationships in the past, cost you jobs in the past, cost you career opportunities, cost you peace, cost you stress, so forth. But when you start hiding things, it makes everyone else comfortable, but it doesn't make you comfortable. And I don't mean emotionally. I mean, it wears you down. It wears you out. It drags you down. And then you have flare days and people often are like, wait a minute, you were just so okay yesterday, when truly you weren't. But most especially, tell your doctors the truth. Don't put on a brave face. How is your physical health really and truly? How is your mental health really and truly? With Ehlers Danlos comes missed opportunities, comes cancellations, comes isolation, which comes depression and anxiety and all of its little pals. Insomnia, painsomnia, things like all of those fears and phobias, even social phobias that cause you to stay home and worsen depression and anxiety because of the isolation or the fear of going somewhere and getting stuck there or not being able to care for yourself. It's a lot. The next thing I would say that is an excellent advocacy point would be to bring someone with you to your doctor's appointments. I know COVID now has all of these extra rules. However, if you're going to your doctor and you let them know that you need someone in with you because you can't remember information or you are having trouble processing information, or if there's a cognitive component, I'm not asking you or telling you to lie, but if you have the reality of not being able to remember or you need someone to advocate for you, you can let them know, I must have this person with me to be able to have an effective, efficient doctor's appointment. If you can. A parent, a friend, significant other, an extra set of ears never hurts a situation. I think it also, for me, when I have someone go into an appointment with me, the advocacy of another person validates, for whatever reason, and it shouldn't be this way, but it validates what I'm saying as I'm saying things, and that person's sitting over there going, the doctor's like, oh, this must be true. This must be a reality for her. And that's frustrating because they should hear my words and it be enough. But for that person advocating for me or in agreement with me saying, yes, this is true. These are facts. This is how her life really is. This is how this is playing out. For whatever reason, the medical staff tends to be more open, understanding, and receptive. Not to mention, it tends to cut down on the attitude that you may get from people who are overworked, tired, exhausted, burnt out, don't need to be in their field, whatever. If you have another person that is another set of eyes and ears, I have found that it tends, at least for me, to cut down on that stuff. That person can help you advocate. It doesn't matter how old you are. When I say parent, I don't mean just for a minor. That person who is your support person, that's the person you want to take with you. Sometimes we just need support. Many of us, I am betting many of you listening, I know I have been victims of medical gaslighting. I have 2 videos that I will link below regarding medical gaslighting. You guys have been eating those up. They will be linked in the description. If you haven't checked them out, please do. But I know so many of you can share your stories about medical gaslighting, and it is so not okay. Doctors really are less likely to do, no, I don't have statistics, but in my experience, they're less likely to gaslight you with another body in the room. It doesn't mean it isn't going to still happen, but at least then you have support, you have extra ears. If you report them, you have a witness, but in the end, an extra help, an advocate, a supporter can't be a bad thing, as long as they are advocating for you, supporting you, and not working against you in the situation. So that means don't bring Aunt Sally, who doesn't believe in EDS, to the doctor with you. That would not help. Another thing I think is helpful in advocacy, if you don't get what you need from your doctor, I'm not suggesting doctor hopping, but I am suggesting a second opinion. If the research supports your request or what you need or you're asking for, and it's going to better your quality of life or better your health all around, and your doctor says no, if there isn't a good reason, or if you feel uncomfortable with what they've stated to you regarding the no, find a second opinion. There are not a lot of doctors that treat EDS. And I have heard personally, when I say, oh, I have EDS or Ehlers Danlos syndrome, because when they hear EDS, they're like, what? When I say I have Ehlers Danlos syndrome, either they go, oh yeah, the tissue thing, or the joint thing, or the hyper flexible thing, or fill in the blank thing. It's all of those things and many, many other things. And the fact that so many of them don't know this is so bothersome. But you all know that. If you have EDS, you know. If you love somebody with EDS, you know. What I know, what I have found, what I truly believe is you deserve to be heard. If your doctor, if your medical staff, if your treatment team is not hearing you, if they refuse to hear your voice, number one, have them write those denials down in your chart. Number two, get a second opinion. I do hope these 5 little advocacy tips can be helpful for you in the future. If you have things I've missed, I would really enjoy reading them. You're welcome to give me your extra tips and tricks on advocacy down in the comment section. I'd like to go in and comment with you and talk with you and continue the conversation that started in this video. Advocacy is a very necessary tool in our world, in our society. For those of us with Ehlers Danlos syndrome and all of its little buddies, I think some people call it "and company." I think that's very suiting. Those things that come along with EDS and EDS itself requires advocacy. It's tricky and exhausting. I really look forward to hearing from you, hearing the things that help you advocate for yourself. And if you are a person who is a carer for someone with EDS, let us know what helps you help them. That's even helpful. Lots of help there. So we can never have too much help. I am so happy to be back with you, and please keep checking back. I'll be posting more EDS videos for May. See you later.